it again. Welcome back to Crawl Space Encounters. We got another one here. Now this crawl space is much taller. I like this. This is nice over here. Let's find out what we've got going on here. We got some ductwork here. Oh, we got some mildew on the wood beams here. Oh, you can definitely see the mineral buildup on the ductwork over here. You know what? Let's take some moisture readings. I guarantee these moisture readings are pretty high down here. It feels really humid. It's about 89 degrees outside. All right, let me grab my moisture meter. Hang tight. All right. Oh yeah. Look at this. Ooh. This is a triple 2x10 beam. And they've just absolutely devoured the outside one. Let's take a better look. Look at that. Now that would not pass a home inspection. Now I'm not sure how you notice how it's active is when you see actually streaming frass, actually piles of wood frass. So something tells me that this has been treated before in the past. Oh yeah, look at that. It's going all the way down here. Goodness gracious. Look at this house. This house isn't old. This house is pretty young, actually. Oh, well, 20 years old, probably. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It's still pretty young. Some moisture behind the porch. You can see that. Those water droplets. Whew. Looks like they did a termite treatment here at one time. Got some drill holes here. This looks like it might be the front of the house. Yeah, that might be behind the front porch of the house. Got some more water droplets right here on the HVAC line. Now, remember, it's not hurting your HVAC system itself. It's basically condensation. It's like you open up a soda can inside the house or outside and you rest it on your car or wherever in the heat, and then all of a sudden you start condensating, you start sweating. Look at this damage right here. You can look, if you look at this wood right here, you can't even tell anything is wrong. Let me just get you some good lighting here. Anybody just cruise on by? Nothing wrong here. Watch. I can see some ripples in it. You see an exit hole right here. Hang on, let me switch hands here. You see a little hole right here? See that hole? Look at this. Ooh. Wow. That's exactly what they do. You see that? Leave very little evidence behind. But inside that wood, they are just tearing it up. Wow. So look, there's a lot more to a crawl space than just moisture, insects, termites. I mean, you got beetles, fungus, plumbing pipe problems. I come across so many things. Once again, I can't stress more how important it is to constantly be checking down here in your crawl space on everything. Get your HVAC guy out here. Get your plumber out here. Have a friend. Get yourself down here. It doesn't matter. Keep checking your crawl space. Things happen every year. They're nice to have, good to work on things, especially ones this tall. This is fantastic. Listen, before I forget, don't forget to press the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Oh, here's some more damage. Wow. These are old house borers. They do attack hardwoods. They attack, and they obviously attack pine wood. You know, if they're here, they want to get here. They're gonna lay some eggs in the pores of the lumber. The eggs hatch, and the larvae go at it. And this is what you get. A treatment like this is pretty pricey. To do a proper treatment to a house like this, you'd have to remove all this insulation everywhere, every bit of this insulation. This crawl space has got to be well over 2,500 square feet. Could you imagine how much insulation that is to remove? You'd have to spray all the wood, the decking, the floor joists, and all these beams right here. This drop sill, this triple drop sill, all this has to be sprayed down with a product that's labeled for old house borers. You definitely want to keep some kind of a contract on it from the company so they can periodically check to make sure that they're gone. Always take care of your moisture problem. You know, this one thing leads to another. This is a perfect example. They are attracted to moisture. They love moisture. But yeah, definitely leave a comment behind. I'm curious to know what's going on. Let me fix this camera. Spider webs like crazy. Look at this beam right here. Goodness, all the way down. That's got to be about a good 25-foot stretch of beam. Ah, goodness. So you definitely want to keep an eye on these things. But once again, for the most part, you know, you've got some moisture problems here. Elevated moisture readings, duct lines are definitely condensating. 22% moisture readings, that's just too high. It's going to need a dehumidifier down here for sure to control the humidity during this time of the year. Obviously, you got to treat these old house borers. So this gets pricey. This gets real pricey. And if it actually gets into the living area upstairs, which we don't know, then you would probably have to fumigate the entire house if any guarantee wants to be placed on the house, which would be extremely pricey because these guys require a lot of gas, fumigation gas. I don't know if you've ever seen anybody tent a house for like drywood termites. Well, it's the same process. You tent the house for the beetles. You get a lot of that like in the mountain region. I know I've got some buddies out in the mountain region that does a lot. They do a lot of tenting for beetles. But we're talking dropping a tarp over a huge 3-story. Now you got to consider this being another story down here, the crawl space. So you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4 stories, a lot of cubic footage of gas. I think you've got to shoot about 10 times the amount of gas into this house to treat for beetles. Now, I could be wrong about that. Hit me up on the comments. Let me know if I'm wrong or right about that. I'm taking a stab at it, so please. I'll let you know when I goof or I'm taking a guess. I think I'm taking a guess on that one. But the thing is 10 times the amount of gas on there to treat for this. So if I were to say how much treatment for this place would be if they did get into the interior portion of the house and you have to fumigate this, we're up there on the $40,000 range. If they just stay down here to the crawl space, removing all the insulation, spraying all the wood, you know, you can get anywhere between $3,000 and probably $6,000. But we'll go from there. Thank you guys for hanging out with me in this crawl space. Not too much to see. No big critters yet. If I do, I'll make sure I get some footage. But I've come across a lot of snakes, but not too many in the crawl spaces here lately. A lot of mice. A lot of freaking mice. But I appreciate you folks. Listen, once again, I'm not mocking crawl spaces. I'm just saying they do need to be checked out. I'm not saying go out and buy a slab house or anything like that. No, it's crawl spaces have their advantages and disadvantages. But this is why I'm here, to help you kind of figure things out and what to look for in houses. If you are purchasing a home with a crawl space or even a basement, these problems happens in basement homes too. But just things to look out for. Electrical wiring, see if any faulty wiring anywhere. Any leaks on the plumbing pipes. I don't see any leaks here. Let me show you something right here. So when it rains, you can see this right here. You see all those little streaks coming down from the brick? Well, that's water that comes in right through the bricks every time it rains. You wonder how I get water in my crawl space? Well, there you go. All that mortar is very porous. Water comes right on in through the bricks. And there you go. Water comes in. So if you ever come into a crawl space, even if it's not raining outside, and you see that coming through the walls or just dry mud stains, that's because the outside ground level is pretty much right at that where the slug is. Look at this slug. Think about this for a second. Slugs need moisture to survive. There's enough humidity in this crawl space to make this slug happy guy. Not good. So, moisture always. I'm going to stress that all the time. That will be the biggest headache for you. People usually have water heaters that just get rusted out. They get beat up. They have their HVAC systems that take an absolute whooping down here. Fungus, mildew, all kinds of stuff happens down here. But yeah, this is how water gets in. It hasn't rained. It probably rained. It's been on and off in certain areas, but here we go. These are entry points right through the mortar. There you go. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And I'll catch you on the next crawl space. I think we got a good one coming up. Thanks.